Access granted.
Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, Oscar, Sierra.
What's up, my friends? Welcome to Chaos Live, my fun little live stream. I get to hang out with you guys and chat it up, talk about the army, whatever might be on your mind other than politics, because I'm not a political type of person, so I don't want to talk politics. But if you have questions about the army, you have questions about me, maybe you have questions about, I don't know, why Conor McGregor broke his ankle and lost. Anyways, I'm here for you. So if you have questions, leave them in the chat. I do jump around the chat, all right? So it does jump around a little bit. I don't go in order because there's a lot of you guys usually. There's a lot of questions, and it would take forever if I went in order, and I would never get to your question if you asked it, and you'd probably leave before I even got to it. But make sure you leave your question in the chat. If I do not get to your question, just hit me up on Instagram, right? Make sure you follow me over on Instagram. There's a link down in the description box down below for my Instagram. Follow me on there. Shoot me a message within 5 days, less maybe. I will get back to you, and I will reply to you, and I will try to answer your question the best that I can. Today we're trying something different, and we got the chat in subscriber only mode. It's free, okay? You don't have to pay anything. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. If you are subscribed to this channel for more than 10 minutes, you can chat. You can ask me a question and help me out, all right? We're just trying to do this out, trying it out. I feel like sometimes, you get people that are not subscribed to the channel, and why not? It's free. If you're enjoying the content and you want to watch me on live stream, you might as well be subscribed to my channel. See, we already got a super chat though, so we got to hit up that super chat. Let me see here. We hit up the super chat. Just Junior Drizzy. Hit up, I just now show it on the screen. Switch over to the other scene. There we go. Junior Drizzy just dropping a super chat just for the fun of it all. Saw it earlier. You said something about it's been a while. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. You are awesome. Notification Platoon, where are you guys at? What do we got? Let me go backwards in the chat. We got Michael, we got Shane Hillbilly, we got VGMR, one of our Chaos Army commanders. We got Austin Lopez. We got Michael. You guys are chatting it up for a while. We got Evie in the house. We got Jason, Blazing Red, the Army Contractor, Jesse U, John Franco, TFR 60, Edward, the King of Mobile Players. I don't know how to pronounce your full name. We'll go with Smart. We got Shane, Junior Drizzy that dropped a super chat earlier. We got Bree, Michael Langmaid, Zeba Lord, all sorts of individuals. Copa A5. 5017. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably a proper way to say that, but Buffalo 911, all sorts of awesome individuals. But anyways, we're gonna get to it. Let's answer your guys' questions. I see people are subscribing, which is good. You gotta be subscribed to the channel for more than 10 minutes, and you can drop a chat. It's a free thing to do. It's an awesome thing to do. Support me. We're trying to get 100,000 before the end of this year, guys. We gotta get to 100,000. Congratulations to Nikki MGTV. Right, if you guys don't know who he is, if you're interested in Navy, great channel. Well, actually, he's branched more off the Navy now, but more like just news now, which is cool, right? So you can get any branch of services and information. So I saw he recently got up to 100K. Congratulations to him. I'm hopefully shortly behind you, my friend. Hopefully, someday. We'll see. All right, let's see. Where do we start with some questions? We got Copa A. And my son leaves Tuesday to Fort Jackson. Oh, I forgot about this. Leaves Fort Jackson, basic training, 17 Echo, GR Army. Awesome. Good luck to him. Hopefully it goes well. 1 year anniversary, man. Good deal. Are we getting like if we had Doug? I don't see if we had Doug in here. Maybe even I think Jay. That's Jay the Vorn. What's up, Jay the Vorn? By the way, I think I might have missed you. Yeah, there's Jay the Vorn right here. Jay the Vorn. What's happening? But I think Jay the Vorn's probably getting pretty close to getting a little Army Star. One of the first people that joined the Chaos Elite early on. Some of these questions are still from before we even started, but let's check this one out. My dad is a Vietnam veteran. I heard but died how the jail structure are willing to hit you. Is it still the same in the basic training? Oh, you talk about, it was a little bit jumbled up there, but you're trying to say that the drill sergeants are allowed to hit you? No. Drill sergeants are not allowed to hit you. It's not a thing. I don't know if it ever was really allowed to thing. I think it just wasn't a thing that they really punished drill sergeants for, like way back in the day. But currently, yeah, the drill sergeant will get in trouble for that. Happy birthday, Edward. What do you think of military alliance between Australia and USA? I think it's cool. We had some Australians recently doing some training with us on Fort Carson, and they're pretty cool. I met a couple of them real briefly. I heard a lot of cool stories from other people that got a chance to talk to some of them a little bit more, and it seemed like they were pretty cool. So I'm cool with it, I guess. Which uniform pattern was first? UCP or OCP? I think UCP and then OCP. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it was. It's not much different. It was called like the Scorpion pattern or something. I don't remember it. It's not. You don't really notice any difference. There's maybe minor differences and subtle other things. How do you become a hull technician? I'm sure it's an MOS. You'd have to look it up. By the way, hey, that kind of reminds me, I guess. The brand new ChristopherChaos.com website has been launched. It's up and running. One of the links, there's like a couple different like pages you can go to. One of them is some Army links, and inside the Army links, it's got a bunch of resources. One of them is like a way you can research like about a lot of MOSs in the Army. So maybe that'd be a great place to go. Check out the all new ChristopherChaos.com. Check out the Army links. I will say it does kind of look crappy on mobile. I don't like the way it looks on mobile. Can't do a whole lot about that unless I want to redesign it again. But I prefer the way it looks on desktop. Desktop looks a lot better. So if you can look at it on a computer, on a laptop, whatever, it's probably the better way to do it. But it will work on mobile. Just my personal preference. I don't really like the way it looks on mobile. What's your opinion on 35 Papa? What is your opinion on someone who is 30 going to the Army? I don't even know what a 35 Papa is. I know a lot of MOSs, but not all of them. 35 Papa MOS? Cryptolog? Okay, yeah. Cryptological linguist. I don't know what it's like right now. I know for a while it was in 2019 though, so it's probably a lot better now. But they were overstrength and they were forcing people to get out of that MOS and reclass to get out of the Army. I'm pretty sure it should be good now, I would think, but definitely check with a recruiter. It seems like a cool MOS. I don't know if you're someone that's pretty good at learning a language and all that stuff, and then someone who's 30, it doesn't, as long as you're in good shape, you're willing to go and mentally ready and all that kind of stuff, then it really doesn't matter too much. You might have a little bit harder of time than someone who's 18, but if you get your mind right, you'll be good. Ricardo, I'm at the hotel right now. I'll leave for basic training tomorrow. Well, good luck to you, man. Hopefully all goes well. Hopefully it doesn't suck too bad. And you come out on top, and then you come back to another live stream or a video or whatever and tell us all about how crappy it was and how you made it, though. So hopefully all goes well. Heard now that E4 Mafia is the Corporal Cartel, maybe. And now, if you go to the board and all that stuff, you're gonna have to be in, be a corporal now. What is my vertical jump max? I have no idea. I've never measured that. Probably not as good as it used to be, but no idea. I know nothing about SOAR. I know a lot of people have asked me about SOAR and even wanted me to do a video on it, but I would have to research the hell out of it. And like a lot of other things, like even though I don't have any direct knowledge on it, I kind of have a better understanding of it. SOAR, I have absolutely no understanding of it, so I don't know anything. I've never worked with anybody. I've never known anybody. Nothing, right? At least with the other ones, I've known people like Special Forces. I've known people that went Special Forces, you know, and gone through the training and been in Special Forces units and all that stuff. But SOAR, I have absolutely nothing. So all I'd be able to do is research the hell out of it from the internet, info, and then try to make a video off of that, and I don't feel like that would be very good. What's the difference between a corporal in the Army than a senior airman in the Air Force? What's the rank of a senior airman, though? A super chat? Yeah. This would work a lot better if I could type a little bit better. Senior airman rank, because it depends on what the rank of it is. It's an E4, so it's really the same. So I mean, I don't think the Air Force has like a corporal equivalent, right? So the senior airman would be the equivalent of a specialist, or corporal would be kind of like somewhere in between the E4 and the E5. They're kind of like an E4.5, right? I kind of think of it that way, right? They have more authority than an E4, but not as much authority as an E5. So kind of somewhere in that kind of realm right there. Super chat from Jack. Hey Chris, just wanted to thank you for your videos. I leave the 19th to Leonardwood as a warrant officer cadet, right? Is that what that is? And I wouldn't be there without your help. Well, thank you, Jack, for the super chat. Good luck to you. I hope that you're able to come back and tell us all about how amazing or crappy it was, or whatever the case is, right? But good luck to you. Hopefully it goes well. I've known some people that are warrant officers, but I don't know what actually. I've never really talked to them about like what it was like going through like warrant officer candidate school and all that kind of stuff. If that is what you're doing. I'm guessing that's what the WOFT maybe is. You're going straight to flight school type of thing. I don't know, or is that something else I'm misunderstanding? But I understood the Leonardwood part. But regardless, whichever it is, good luck to you. That is correct. Okay, so it is Leonardwood, or going for warrant officer. Good luck to you. Hopefully it goes well. Make sure you pick out a good coffee mug, because that's what a lot of warrant officers do. Walk around with that coffee mug, walk around the motor pool with a thermos, coffee. It's part of the uniform, I think, for warrant officers. You gotta walk around with a coffee cup. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Let's come back. I go back. I don't go all the way back in the chat, but I was going back a little ways. Another person in the hotel. Hey Chris, today I ship out at the hotel, waiting to go to MEPS, and my family started to cry. It made me cry a little. It'll happen, right? Especially if it's a new experience of leaving behind your family. I know I was pretty upset, pretty bummed. It felt pretty crazy. Leaving behind my family. I'd never done that before, but it gets easier. All kind of fun stuff. Somebody else in the hotel. You might be in the same hotel as them. That'd be crazy. Maybe you're going to the same basic training as that person, maybe. Wouldn't that be crazy? You could be like, what's up? I saw you in the Chaos chat. How's it going? Let's see. I was just issued a temporary restraining order and haven't been to hearing yet. Stipulation regards not having firearms. Do you think this would bar me from military entry? Probably, until at least the thing is settled. If it was a permanent thing, yeah, like... If it's something for domestic violence, yeah, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to get in the military. If you've been convicted of domestic violence, the military won't take you. If it's something like a temporary thing for now until the hearing, then hopefully maybe after that. But probably while you're still waiting for the hearing, you're not going to be eligible if you're still facing something like that. Probably not until after it's all settled. You probably won't be eligible for it. You can talk to a recruiter anyways to get the 100% correct answer kind of a thing. I'm just giving my insight from my experience. But definitely, yeah, if it's something like you've been... you get convicted of domestic violence, you won't be able to join the military. Why did you join the Army? How was your mom and dad with it? I joined, it was more of a stepping stone. Like I wanted to join and do 4 years, but 4 years turned into almost 11 years. And then I wanted to get, after the 4 years though, get out and go to college. They were fine with it. They didn't really have any issues with it. They thought it was cool. I know my dad's dad, my grandpa, he was, I think, in the Navy. I think my mom's brother, I think, was in either the Army or the Navy. So, you know, I've had some family that have been in the military a little bit. I don't think any of them as long as me, unless somewhere maybe farther back in history or something like that. But I think I was in the military the longest of all of my family members. I don't think there's anybody in my family who was in the military as long as I was. But they were okay with it. They didn't mind. Were you in South Korea for 1 year or 2 years? I was there for 2 years because I volunteered for an extra year. When I was in Korea, it was when the Iraq War was first starting up. So they were involuntarily extending people for 6 months. So I was gonna, no matter what, be stuck there for a year and a half. But they gave you the option to make it a full extra year and get a $2,000 bonus to Choice of Duty Station. So I did that. I made it a full extra year so that I get that, you know, bonus money and then get to choose where I was gonna go to after Korea. So I was actually there for 2 years. Do you salute a warrant officer? You do. You still, yep, warrant officers and officers, still salute them. Site looks good. Did you do that on your own or hire someone? I did it myself. I mean, don't think it's anything fancy. It's like the previous version was a website builder, and that was a pretty easy way to like build out the website. I just didn't really like the way it worked. So I wanted to scrub it, and I kind of spent this weekend kind of working on it. And then this version here is through WordPress, and that's the way it previously in the past has been done, is using WordPress to use just the features of WordPress and plugins and customization. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it a little easier to make it mobile friendly, because this version is still not as mobile friendly as I'd like it to be. It's more mobile friendly than the previous version was. So that part is at least better. But yeah, I did it all myself. I have done it before where I did like the full-on web design stuff with a software called Dreamweaver through Adobe. But the thing I don't like about that is that if I need to make modifications to the website or add something to the website, I have to do it from the computer that I have everything stored on. Where at least with WordPress for websites and everything, I can just log into the website from anywheres, make modifications, make changes, and it's easy to do rather than having to do the hard way of, you know, going through a software type of thing. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen the new Christopher Chaos website, check it out. What is the purpose right now? Plans for the website? Just kind of an extension. I mean, there's just an easy way. So part of it is an easy way for outsiders who are not familiar with the Christopher Chaos channel to learn about like what's to offer. I'll feature a few videos here and there, feature some news things, even like a few vlog episodes when I start doing more vlogs and stuff too. And then also just other resources too. There's gonna be a section on there that actually has where I'm gonna create a YouTube series on here for prepping for the Army, and then I'll also kind of go a little bit more in depth on the website. So if people want to prep for the Army, there's gonna be a section in there for that. It's also a place where you can go to get like the notebooks that I have. Like I have these, let me reach for it. Different notebooks that I make, right? So we have these different notebooks right here that you can buy. They're printed by Amazon, but I designed them. They're just empty pages on the inside, so you can take notes. And there's a bunch of those, so you can find those on there. T-shirts, even sometimes T-shirts that I wear in videos, and you want to try to get that, you can get it there. So a lot of it is an extension of my Christopher Chaos channel, but there's a lot more that I want to try to hopefully do with it later on to help people that are joining the Army, even help people that are currently in the Army, and kind of work on some stuff from there. Do you find the ACU as useless as a lot of other vets? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest. The OCP pattern type of uniform, the current uniform, I like those ones better. The ACU pattern, I mean, just the uniform in general, it wasn't as nice as this current one is. I think the material is different. It feels like it is anyways. And then just the way it looks. I like the way that this one looks compared to the last one. So yeah, I mean, even when they first came out, everybody was ragging on them from the beginning. Because I remember transitioning from the BDUs, the battle dress uniform, which is the woodland camouflage type of pattern, going from that to the ACU, and even then everybody was like, why does this make sense? Why is this pattern what we're moving to from that? Why don't we switch? We thought we probably should switch to desert, which desert would have made sense for the time period. The current one's still pretty great too, but everybody was always like, even why then? Everybody ragged on it when it first came out. It's not even like just like a veteran thing. Everybody hated it when it first came out too. Was your equivalent of BLC stressful enough to add a few gray hairs? They made me student squad leader and am getting a crash course on helping others before myself. It was a little bit. I mean, it wasn't too horrible. I know that was the thing. Like everybody. So like for those of you who don't know, BLC, it's the non-commissioned officer course from going to E5. That's what it's currently called, is the basic leaders course. Before that, it was called the Warriors Leaders course, or WLC. And then before that, the version I went through was PLDC, which is a primary leadership development course. But a lot of the same stuff still applies. So you kind of do a lot of the same stuff, maybe a little bit of tweaks here and there. Just the names changed mostly. But yeah, that's like a key thing, is like everybody has to do some kind of position, either as a squad leader, a platoon sergeant, the first sergeant, something. You have to do something. You have to spend a little bit of time, whether it be a couple of days or whatever, in one of those leadership positions. I think I just did squad leader, thankfully, because I didn't want to really do platoon sergeant or first sergeant, especially not first sergeant. I think the people that when I went through that did first sergeant were like people that were already corporals. Now it's a little bit different. You don't really have that necessarily as much, but yeah, I mean, there were certain parts that were stressful, but I was definitely happy when it was over. So hopefully you're getting through it, or you already got through it. Great. What is Pathfinder School? That's the one thing they were getting rid of, or you already got rid of, kind of a thing. But eventually, or essentially, it was for finding landing zones. So they would go look for good landing zones for helicopters, for airplanes, I believe, all that kind of stuff. So, but I think they're getting rid of it. Did I ever encounter any bridge crew members in my time? I did not. Like the engineers that lay bridges. Ship off 3rd or August 3rd, Fort Jackson. What is your opinion on 25 Bravo? It's MP. Make sure I don't sound stupid, but MP. I mean, it's okay. Army informational. Oh, 25 Bravo. Duh. Why did I not know that? I got a couple of guys that I know that are 25 Bravos. It's pretty good. Definitely if you're an IT type of person, you want to be someone in the IT kind of field, get knowledge of like switches and computer systems and networking and all sorts of other kind of stuff that they do, more IT related kind of a thing, then I think it's pretty good. So hopefully that's your interests, because that's what you're going to be doing. Going to MEPS soon. Any tips? Not really. I mean, MEPS really just have to go through the stations. There's nothing really you can do, right? I mean, you're just going to go through it, do a physical, do an eye test, do a hearing test, pee in a cup so they can test you for drugs. And then once you're done with all the physicals and all the other stuff you have to do, they see what your qualifications are based on your ASVAB scores and everything you did at MEPS, and put that all together to see what's currently available based on those scores and your availability, plus also what's available for taking new people anyways, because you may qualify for an MOS, but if they're not taking new soldiers, then you can't get that MOS because they're just not taking new soldiers. Even though you may qualify for it, they're not taking anybody. So at the very end, you'll go through with someone and they'll kind of show you what's available and allow you to choose from it and try to pick a time frame of when you would like to ship out from. But otherwise, there's nothing really good tips wise. You're just following along, just kind of going through the motions. All right, let's jump down. I'm going to jump ahead of the chat a little ways. Sorry if I bypass your question. Like I said, if I bypass your question, just hit me up on Instagram. Shoot me a message. Make sure you follow me. I'll respond back to you as soon as I can. What determines what division you're put in? I hope I asked that the right way. You mean like what unit you go to? It's just going to be based on... So there's a thing called MTO. I have to think what MTO stands for, but it's not important. It's basically... This unit is authorized this many 11 Bravos E4 and below, or this many 88 mics, E5, E6s, all that kind of stuff. It basically says that at this unit, they're authorized this many people at this rank, at this MOS. And when people are graduating from basic training or AIT and everything like that, then they're going to go and start filling those slots. So they're going to look at, hey, this location needs an 11 Bravo, E4 and below, so let's send this guy that way. This guy is an 88 mic. This location needs 88 mics, E4 and below, so let's send him that way. So it goes off of a lot of that kind of a thing. Super chat. What have we got in super chat? Marchita, is that what it is? I'm horrible with names, by the way, guys. Don't get offended or upset if I butcher the crap out of your name. It's a very common thing that I'll probably do because I just suck at pronunciations. But thank you for the super chat, my friend. Just signed a National Guard contract as a 42 Alpha, and looks like I got attached to an MP company that mobilizes quite often. Will I be able to do MP stuff in the unit? 42 Alpha is that like admin clerk kind of a thing? Okay, what 42 Alpha? Human resources? No. You're not going to get to do MP stuff. So this is what you'll do. I have a video on it, but I mean, when you're in the National Guard, right, you do your weekend drill or whatever, and you're just doing some training or whatever, some other stuff during the weekends. If you get mobilized or whatever, then you do your job a little bit more often than you would if you were just doing your weekend drill type of thing. But you're essentially one of the individuals that help with like promotions stuff. So if someone is trying to get promoted, then and they need orders, which is the official thing to show they have orders, you're helping with getting those orders. People have any kind of pay problems, maybe they got married and now they need to, you know, get that into the system. They need to I don't know, a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. It's a lot of the admin type of stuff for making sure soldiers are getting paid correctly, getting, you know, promotion on time, and getting the orders for that, and all sorts of other things. So you won't get to do MP stuff. No, you'll just be doing the job that you're supposed to be doing, the HR type of thing. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. You're awesome. All right, come backwards in the chat a little ways up. We got Chris might not stay for a while tonight. I have Police Academy in the morning though. My school is at 9 a.m. It's not that too early. You're good. No, it's cool. I get it. So you guys have other lives outside of Christopher Chaos channel. You should have fun at Police Academy training or whatever it is you're doing. I'm re-enlisting from the reserves to active. What duty station do you recommend? I recommend Fort Carson. That's probably a bias type of thing. That was the last duty station that I left from. That's where I currently work on. This is the area I live in. I like the area. I have a video on Fort Carson, so if you want to look at that, check that out. You get some good, you know, possible reasons as to why Fort Carson's great. So, yeah. But I'm going active, huh? You know what you should have done? Here's a big secret people don't know about. AGR, Active Guard Reserves. You're still going active duty, but you're working reserves. Way more chill. It's not too late. I would see if you can re-enlist for that. That's just my opinion. Maybe you have your own reason why you want to do active, though. So, I mean, go off of what your reasons are. But if you don't know about AGR, Active Guard Reserve, I mean, you're in the reserves. You probably do. I don't know. But I think that's a best kept secret right there. I saw we got a membership. I think it was Jay the Vorn just resubscribed. Where was it at? It's not popping up in my chat. Maybe because it's a resubscribe. Oh, right there. Join Chaos League. Okay. Jay the Vorn resubscribe. Well, thanks, Jay the Vorn, for renewing your subscription. Is there a bonus for passing airborne school? There is not. No. I mean, you talking about like a money bonus? No. I mean, you pass airborne school and you get the jump wings. That's your bonus. Get to wear the cool jump wings on your uniform. But other than that, no. Marine or Army? What should you join? Tips. So, I guess it just gets based on personal preference. You'll have probably a better chance in some cases, or in a lot of cases, to get the job you want from the Army compared to any other branch, because a lot of branches don't let you pick the very specific job. They will sometimes let you specifically pick the area. So if you have really good scores and certain other things, they might let you pick medical, but not exactly what you're gonna do in medical. That could be a dentist, that could be a medic, that could be a physical therapist, whatever kind of thing, right? But you're just gonna get thrown into a medical field usually. Where in the Army, if you qualify for it and it's available, you can pick the exact MOS and the specific job, and you'll know what specific job you're doing before you sign on the dotted line. Where a lot of other branches, they'll be like, yeah, we'll get you in this area, and then we'll have you sign up, and then you might find out prior to leaving what you're gonna get and what you're gonna do. So that's kind of the key thing. But don't take my word for it. Talk to both. Talk to both a Marine recruiter, talk to an Army recruiter, see which one appeals to you the most. So go that route usually. What basic do infantrymen go to? They go to OSIT in Fort Benning, Georgia. If you're doing 11 Bravo, 11 Charlie, 11 X-Ray is what you'll go in as, and then in OSIT they'll determine if you're going to become a Bravo or a Charlie. Pretty random too. It's not a whole lot you can usually do about it unless you're able to get it in your contract and you're lucky enough to specifically choose which one, but they do one station unit training in Fort Benning, Georgia. We do camping before, Chris, because I really enjoy camping, and I will be camping again in Austin. Yeah, I've camped multiple times. Done the field. Does that count as camping? But outside of being in the field in the Army, of course, I've gone camping. Can you get BAH as a single parent going in as an E3? If you answered it, I did not hear it. Okay, here's the tricky thing. BAH is something that active duty soldiers get. If you are a single parent, you're not eligible to go active duty. I don't know if you've already talked to somebody about it or anything like that. You said you're going in as an E3. I don't know if that's because someone told you you're going in as an E3 or because you have a little bit of college, you have an associate's, but as a single parent, you can only go to the Reserves and National Guard, and Reserves and National Guard do not get BAH. You'll get like I think you might get I'm not sure, 100% sure, like you might get a subsidized version of that for when you're on drill, but not the full BAH that you would get like active duty gets, where it's the full BAH for the whole entire month. But if you're trying to join as a single parent, you can't go active duty. So be aware of that. So that's usually the main, like when I hear BAH, I'm thinking active duty people. If you're going Reserves and National Guard, that's fine, right? They'll let you go Reserves and National Guard as a single parent, but they won't let you go active duty as a single parent because they don't want, because you're basically, what are you going to do with that child if you're, get deployed, right? You have to have a family member watch it. Well, what happens if the family member can't watch them because they're sick or something else? Now you can't go on that deployment. Now you're not deployable. So that's a lot of the reason why they don't allow single parents to join. If you're already a single parent, or if you're already in the Army and then become a single parent, that's a little bit different. They'll give you the option to kind of get out or stay in, and you can have a different way, but joining definitely complicates things. Doug, what's happening? One of our Chaos Army commanders. What's happening? Where's Doug's thing here? I want to see if it's showing you the star yet. A super chat too? I'm going to see if I can see Doug's. Right there, he does! You have the star on yours, man. I think you're the first one I've seen with the star. It means you're old school and you've been a member since the existence of time. That's the only way anybody can have that cool star next to the name is if they've been a member for, was it 2 years now? A year and a half? Something like that? Thanks, Doug. We got a super chat, though. Holy hand grenade dropping a super chat. I'm just here to say finding employment after this service is not as hard as a lot of people like to say. I got a respectable production job a month after I got out. Good deal, man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it sometimes comes down to area, what you're trying to get into. There's a lot of factors in there. I think that, yeah, if you apply yourself really well, then yeah, you can get yourself a job. I was fortunate enough that when I first got out of the Army, I took like a month off. I wasn't doing shit for like a month probably. And then I started school. Maybe it wasn't the long, I don't remember how long it was, but then I started going to college. So then I was getting the BAH from going to college. So that was helpful. That was paying the bills pretty good then. And then while I was still in college, then I got the job that I do now. I've been doing it ever since. And that kind of just fell in my lap. I feel like that was just like a lucky kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, if you apply yourself pretty well and you try, you go to a lot of like job fairs, you do, put yourself out there. Yeah, I feel like it's doable. There might be certain areas and certain job professions where that might be harder, but it's doable. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. What are some things that might prevent you from joining the military? I have a video on that. So if you look on my channel, what's it called? Like, I forget what it's called. It's not that old. It's maybe from maybe like a couple of months ago or something like that. But there's a specific video. It's actually about like things that'll disqualify you from joining the military. So look for that video on my channel and I explain a lot of them. I mean, like domestic violence is one, coming up hot on a drug test, it won't let you join. felonies for the most part usually won't. There's other things too. Some things will be waiverable. There's some things that you can sometimes, even though it may be a disqualifier, you might be able to get a waiver for it. And then there's certain other things that you can't get a waiver for. It's just automatic disqualification. Like drugs is automatic disqualification, no waiver for drugs. If you're like come up hot, right? I'm talking about if you come up hot for drugs, right? You do the urinalysis at MEPS and you come up hot for drugs. No, you have to try again another time when you can come up clean. And then domestic violence. They don't tolerate domestic violence, so you won't be able to. They don't do waivers for domestic violence. The elder has appeared. Is that talking about? Is that Doug? Man, it's messed up, man. Do you have any funny military stories? Probably hard to try to think of one off the top of my head. It's a really good one. I mean, there's a lot of things I think that to me maybe might be funny, to you may not be. That's not that funny. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do a video at some point in time. Think of a really good one that I think that you guys might enjoy, and maybe make it into a video. I don't know. Can you leave a deployment when your wife is due? Kind of. They try to accommodate that the best they can, if possible. So if your wife is pregnant, you go off on a deployment, and maybe like 4 months into the deployment is when she's supposed to be due, then they're going to try to send you back around that time frame to where usually during like a combat deployment, other deployments, you might get like 15 days off. So you might they'll try to like time it to where hopefully you'll be there for that time frame and you can be there for the birth, but then you have to come back to that deployment. So in that time frame, but then there's other factors that can mess that up, because I've known some people that missed the birth of their child too, because they just couldn't send them back in that time frame. So they got kind of screwed and missed the birth of their child. They got to see maybe the child a little bit later, maybe a week later, maybe months later. It just kind of varies, but they a lot of times try to accommodate the best they can, but there's no guarantee. Going active because I want to do my MOS of 12 November on the daily. Also, eventually, I want to become active drill sergeant. I know AGR, and I'm going to apply for it later in my career. Awesome, good deal. Yeah, I mean, if you want to actually do 12 November stuff, yeah, active duty is probably a better way to go. You can still do drill sergeant on like AGR, I think. I'm not sure though, but yeah, it's probably a best thing to do if you're wanting to really kind of get into it and do your job. Is it possible to be homeless even though some people are in the reserves? I think anything's possible. I feel like there's probably ways you could prevent that and ways you could get assistance, though, if you really sought it out. But I'm sure it's probably possible. Do you think we may be in a new conflict with Venezuela? Maybe. I don't know. Not really sure. By the way, I forgot all about the like goal. We got a like goal. 150. I upped it 50 from last time. Forgot to mention this earlier. We're at, according to my screen, 76 likes right now. Got a little ways to go. We are 43 minutes already into the stream, so we only got maybe like 20, 30 minutes left for the stream maybe. So make sure that you hit that like button. Try and get to 150 for the like goal. I upped it by 50. Maybe that was a little bit too ambitious. Maybe I should have left it at 100. But hey, it's a free thing to do. Hit that like button. Any tips passing the tape test at MEPS? Feel like I'm running out of options. I mean, there's no like real tricks really to pass the tape. I mean, some people, if they have bigger necks, sometimes that helps them, right? But essentially it comes down to just being able to pass it. I don't know of any like tricks to like pass it when you shouldn't pass it, if that's what you're kind of looking for. I don't think that's, I mean, they do it, the way they do it is they try to prevent any kind of thing like that, so it makes it hard. I mean, you can't suck in your gut, you know, if you're trying to suck it in, they're going to know. They're going to be measuring your neck, your chest, your waist, your stomach, whatever it is, and really just maybe a lot of cardio, right? You said you're running your butt off, right, or something like that, right? But or you're running out of options. A lot of cardio might help, and just trying to just cut weight. Maybe go to a sauna. I don't know, maybe you can try that. Maybe I heard a dog in here, maybe. Yeah. But maybe you can try to go and hit into the sauna maybe a couple days before, try to lose some water weight. Maybe that helps a little bit. But yeah, the most part is just getting into shape. There's not really any good tricks to like trick the system though. Thanks for the star. Hey, you're the one who earned yourself the star. I didn't give you the star. because you're a member for such a long time, Doug, you've earned the star. So thank you. Thank you for being a member of Chaos Elite for such a long time, being a channel member. You rock. Are there going to be... All right, are they going to have units still deployed to Afghanistan just to keep surveillance even through the war's over? I mean, yeah. I forget what the number was, but there is a certain number of soldiers they're going to still keep in Afghanistan for, like, peacekeeping stuff, for was it the ambassadors, guards for the ambassadors, and working at the embassy type of things, and a few other just normal operations type of things. So it won't eliminate entirely the presence. It'll be reduced drastically, but not completely eliminated. So it was already pretty rare that people were going to Afghanistan anyways, because it was pretty dialed back already. But now it's just going to become even less likely for someone like, someone coming into the army now to get deployed to Afghanistan, as the numbers are even smaller. I'm joining the army soon, and I'm thinking about becoming infantry, but here's the question. Is it true every time an infantryman is deployed overseas, they get a bonus? No, nobody gets a bonus for, you get paid more, yeah, but there's not a bonus, really. The only time you can get a bonus while you're deployed is if you re-enlist, right? If you re-enlist, you get a tax-free bonus while you're there, so that's always a pretty nice thing. A lot of people like to re-enlist while they're in a combat zone because it's tax-free on the bonus, but you don't actually get a bonus. You do get paid more because your paycheck isn't getting taxed anymore, and you don't have to pay that back later when you come back or do your taxes or anything like that. No, your paycheck is tax-free. You get paid extra for hazardous duty pay, but that's what you're thinking of bonus-wise. You get hazardous duty pay if it's a combat deployment, so that's a little bit better. Now, if it's just a training deployment, like you're in Germany or something like that, you might get COLA, but you're not going to get a tax-free paycheck. You're not going to get hazard pay, anything like that, though. I like to hear the subscribers going off, guys. You got subscriber only mode on. It's free, so to be able to chat inside of the chat here for the live stream, you got to be a subscriber for at least 10 minutes. So it's not that hard. It's not too bad. It's free. It's the awesome thing to do. We got to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Got to make this happen, and I can't do it without you guys, without your help. So make sure you are subscribed. Will this be an always thing? I don't know. Maybe it might be an always thing where I might always have it to where the live, because like the videos are for anybody, right? But I feel like the live streams are for you dedicated people that like my channel. So it needs to be a thing where you need to be subscribed, I feel like, right? Maybe? I don't know. Does the job you have now require security clearance? It does, yes. I have to have a security clearance for the job. If I don't have a security clearance, I don't qualify for it. So we even have a new guy that's working the front desk, actually a viewer of the Christopher Chaos channel. I don't know if he's currently a viewer or just was a viewer of the Christopher Chaos channel, but he's in the I think the National Guard, and he currently works at the place where I work at, working at the front desk. And even those individuals, just to work the front desk, have to have a security clearance. But I'm an instructor, but everybody that works in that building has to have a security clearance. Hey Chris, if you don't mind me ask, have you ever went over an IED or witnessed one? So not really gone over one. I witnessed one being detonated. There was maybe 1 or 2 times where we came to an area and we had to stop because EOD was ahead of us, taking care of an IED, and we sat there for like a good half hour or so, just waiting, and then we got the call over the radio they're about to blow it. So then you saw the little bit of explosion in the distance. We weren't super close to it. They made sure we were pushed back far enough, and they, I forget, I was just in one of the trucks, so I wasn't like the convoy commander or anything like that, but I think our convoy commander got word somehow that the route we were on had EOD on it, I remember, and we were stopped for a while. And then we got the word over the radio they're about to blow it, so we were just kind of sitting there patiently, and you saw the little explosion in the distance, and it's kind of cool when they detonated, but that was about it. I haven't had any experience of myself going through an ID. I had a couple soldiers that I knew that did. One that didn't like injure anybody or kill anybody or whatever, was a big Het vehicle, and it messed up the hood and flattened the tire, but they were fine, so that was pretty crazy. What's the best MOS in the Army? The one you want. I don't know. It really depends, right? Like for me, maybe the best MOS would be a 25 Victor to be able to do video stuff for the Army, and that'd be the best for me. But maybe you're not interested in video production, so that would suck. So it really depends on your personal preferences and your interests to determine what the best MOS is in the Army. I feel like. What do we got for likewise? We're at 95. I don't feel like we're gonna get to 150, but if we can at least get to 100, I'll at least be a little bit satisfied. Somewhat satisfied if we can at least get to 100 likes. So make sure you hit that like button. 18 Bravo is the best MOS. For someone who's high speed and wants to do special forces, that might be the best MOS to do. Probably deploy a lot though. And it's a little rough, a little tough training. Can you give me your PlayStation 4 gamer tag? I don't really give out the PlayStation 4 one because, I mean, the Activision one, I think it's just that Chris Chaos, but my PlayStation one, I don't even play games a whole lot that often. Not even really that many multiplayer games, really. So it wouldn't do you any good even if I did give it out. He declared bankruptcy while on active duty. Yes, I knew a guy who that happened to him. Got too behind on debts. Was going through. I think he was going through a divorce at the time. Maybe it was prior to that. I don't remember. But there was a guy that I knew who was in that situation. Yes, it didn't mess up his Army career. It probably would affect him if he had a security clearance. I don't think this guy had a security clearance, so I don't think it was a big deal. But yeah, you can. What if I left the Army and I went back and they let me? So you're asking if you get out of the Army and come back in? Yeah, sometimes. Depends on why you got out of the Army, what your code was when you got out of the Army, determine if you're eligible to come back. Your age factors in a little bit, not to the same extent as joining the Army, because it works a little bit differently for coming back in the Army if you're already so you could be over the age of 35 and still come back in the Army because it doesn't go off the same criteria as when you're first joining the Army. But yeah, it just depends on some factors and some different things. It's possible. So I want to join the Army, but I want to go after college. I want to enlist instead of doing ROTC and going in as an officer. What do you think about that? So you want to go as an enlisted? Yeah, it's fine. You'll get if you do a bachelor's degree and then you come into the Army after you've completed your bachelor's degree, then you get to be promoted to a specialist. You get to come in the Army, make a little bit better money. The nice thing about going enlisted compared to officer is, especially the MOS you want to do, it's more of the actually down and dirty of doing the MOS compared to some people where if you're an officer, you're just more of the leadership, the manager type of thing, and you don't actually get to do the actual job itself. That's usually the enlisted people that get to do it. So that's usually the perk of going enlisted. And then if later you want to go green to gold and then become an officer, then you could do that, and you get the the experience of what it was like being enlisted. And a lot of times those enlisted to officers get treated a little bit better because the soldiers know that they know what it's like to be in their shoes. So it's a good path. I think it's a good idea. Did you ever drive a tank? No. I was never licensed to drive a tank. No real reason to drive a tank. Nope. Do you know anything about PSYOPs or know asymmetrical operations and what they do? A little bit, not probably a lot. I mean, a lot of it's like going out and handing out pamphlets. Sometimes it's out there playing music. Sometimes, I don't know, there's all sorts of things that they kind of do. I probably wouldn't be a very good person to be able to talk on it. I have a friend that was doing it in the reserves, but he really didn't get a chance to really do it very well because he was in the reserve. He went into the reserves during COVID or just before COVID started, so he really didn't get to do a whole lot. So his experience wasn't really much of anything for PSYOPs because he went into the reserves for PSYOPs, but didn't really get to do a whole lot of anything. So, yeah. So I have asthma still, so can I join the Army? It'd be based on a medical person to kind of check that out, right? You talk to your recruiter about it, let them know, I guess. If you're like someone who has to use an inhaler, chances are probably pretty low of being able to join. But it's gonna be based on what the doctor is gonna say at MEPS to kind of determine that. What am I drinking? I'm drinking some sweet tea. Way to go. Chris, does it rain a lot in Colorado Springs? Yeah, sometimes. I mean, probably not as much as certain other places, but I mean, yeah, I feel like it rains quite often. I mean, the last time it rained a little bit yesterday for like maybe like a couple of minutes. Or no, it was the day before, maybe Friday. I think it was Friday. It rained a little bit. And then before that, maybe like Tuesday or something like that. I don't know. It does seem like it rains every couple of days, 3, 4, 5 days, something like that. Lately, anyways. when we do an event in Dallas, because I want to meet you, I probably won't do any of that. Like for those of you guys that don't know, I did like in 2019 or 2018. I forget what year it was in now. I think it was in 2019. I did like this chaos tour that I tried to do just for the fun of it all. And I went to 4 cities. I mean, 2 of them were pretty close by, Colorado Springs and Denver, but still, nonetheless. And then I did Dallas and I did Los Angeles. And a little thing where people could come and hang out with me, we'll chat and everything, answer questions about the Army, a little fun little meet and greet type of thing. It was a horrible, horrible turnout for especially the price of ticket, airfare, and hotel and everything that I paid for to do this thing. But it was fun. I had a fun time doing it, even though I got mild food poisoning in California right off the bat from I think it was Carl's Jr. But nonetheless, it was still fun for me and probably fun for those couple of people that I met. Maybe I might try to do that again next year. Probably won't be this year, probably, but maybe next year. So keep that in the back of your mind if that's something you're interested in. Otherwise, if you're in the Fort Carson area, come find me. You can probably find me at work, sometimes just around the area. You might run into me just randomly. Cool, say hi. But as far as a meet and greet type of thing, I don't know, maybe next year we'll see about doing something again. If there's enough people interested in doing that. Live stream is free, home internet and Wi-Fi isn't. Well, if you go and park in front of McDonald's, it is. So that's the way you got to go. You guys, what you got to do is you got to take a laptop, go park at McDonald's in the parking lot, log into their Wi-Fi, and then watch the Chaos stream. And then it's 100% free. I mean, unless you count the gas that you got to drive there, so then walk over there. I don't know. Any tips detoxing from weed for MEPS? Just stop. I don't know how long it stays in your system. I think I've seen before that like it can take like a month or 2 to get out of your system. So make sure you quit plenty of months prior, so hopefully you don't have to worry about it. But otherwise, I don't think there's any tricks to it. I mean, there might be out there, but I don't know any of those tricks, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I don't know. Even though I live in a state that marijuana is legal, because I work at a federal job and hold a security clearance, it's still illegal for me. So even though I live in a place where it's legal, I still can't do it. I don't really have an interest in doing it anyways, but I don't have anything against it either. As an ADM Mike, will I be with my wife and child often? Yeah, I mean, it's not like being a truck driver as a civilian. You're doing stuff on base. Unless you're in the field, then yeah, of course you're gonna be away from your family. But outside of that, I mean, for the most part, a lot of times you're getting off work 4:35. I mean, there might be some days that are late days, of course, because of things that are going on. You're prepping for the field or whatever. But for the most part, outside of those kind of factors, you're getting home, 5:36 maybe. Weekends off, all that kind of a thing. What do you think is the weakest branch of the military? Sorry, but I have to go Space Force. Probably Space Force. I don't know that for sure. This is my opinion, right? I've never experienced anything other than the Army, but from things I've seen, things I've heard, I feel like probably Space Force. Units rotating to Europe get 150 safe pay enlistment, but they take your BAS. If you're collecting BAH, you will still do so. There you go. Some good tips right there. Anybody is going to go off to Europe for a rotation, for a non-combat deployment. Hey Chris, I have my first aid merit badge and I will be recertified. Would that be good for 11 Bravo? Sure. I mean, regardless if you have that training or not, you're going to do it. So don't expect that, like, even people who are like first responders, you go into the Army, you do something, maybe another MOS or whatever, you're still got to do it like to the Army standards. The Army wants to teach you a specific way to do first aid stuff. for combat situations, right? So if you had some kind of first aid class you've attended or whatever, cool. It might make it easier for you, but you know, you're gonna still do that stuff anyways. So I mean, you know, I wouldn't say that because you did first aid that 11 Bravo would be a great choice. I mean, that's infantry. I mean, if you want to do infantry, but go for an MOS that you're interested in. What was your scariest time in the Army? Probably like the first couple of weeks, maybe the first month or two of being in Iraq, the first deployment. Nothing really too crazy happened really while I was on either of my 2 deployments, but a lot of it is you're on edge and you're just worried about the possibility. I mean, you've gone through so much training, heard so many horror stories about, you know, these situations and trained for them and everything like that, and then it's kind of, you're always on edge. Sadly, you do kind of get complacent after a while if nothing happens, right? And you kind of start to relax a little bit, and that's bad, but it does happen. But yeah, the first, like I'd say first couple weeks, maybe even couple of months on my first deployment in Iraq, it's pretty creepy, right? I mean, you're driving down those roads, you don't know if there's going to be, you know, a pile of dirt that's going to blow up. You don't know if there's going to be a guy pop up around the corner and start shooting at you. You don't know if there's going to be, you know, a guy on a rooftop firing a rocket at you. You don't know. So you're just kind of like really on edge for those first couple of while of being in Iraq. And that was probably the scariest moment, I think, while I was in the Army. Ever consider another branch other than the Army? I was originally going to try to join the Air Force because I wanted to be a mechanic. I kind of started to think that maybe it'd be better to join the Army because I'd get more experience with wheeled vehicles in the Army compared to the Air Force. I didn't end up becoming a mechanic in the first place, but also the Army recruiter was more persistent than the Air Force recruiter was. But yeah, I was considering the Air Force originally. Marrying girlfriend for a BH, bad idea? Yeah, I would say so. Say it's a bad idea because you don't know if you know that relationship's going to go horrible and go south, and now you're screwed and you got to get a divorce or tough it out or whatever the hell you're going to do. But yeah, I'd say don't marry someone for BH. Marry someone for other reasons. You love them. You want to spend the rest of your life with them, not because you want to get paid extra money from the Army. I'm going to skip through the comments a little ways, so sorry if I'm skipping your question. Again, if I skip past your question, just hit me up on Instagram. As long as you're following me, shoot me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hey Chris, I want to go SF after some experience in infantry, but I also want to go make soldiers drill sergeant. If I pass SF selection, do you think my SF group would allow me to become a drill sergeant? So no, I don't believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe that would be a thing you'd be able to do. You wouldn't be able to, because you're going to be dedicated to doing special forces operations and doing their missions and everything like that. And they're not going to want to lose you to go, you know, mess with new soldiers for a month or whatever, a couple months. You're drill sergeant, so no. So I would say, if your goal is to do all 3 of those, right, it's good to come into the Army as 11 Bravo, especially if that's something you really want to do, especially for SFAS, for Special Forces, because if you go Special Forces or you go to the SFAS course and you don't pass it, then at least you get to go back to being infantry, where if you don't pass SFAS when you come in as an 11 X-ray, straight out of the streets trying to go Special Forces, then they're going to put you in whatever MOS they want to put you in. Sometimes it's 11 Bravo too, so you might still end up in 11 Bravo, but nonetheless, I think it's a good experience to get. It'll probably help you with trying to pass SFAS. I would say try to go drill sergeant before you go SFAS, maybe think about that route. You get some experience being in the infantry, put in to try to become a drill sergeant, spend a little bit of time being a drill sergeant, then put in for Special Forces. Maybe go that route. But yeah, if you're already in the Special Forces, you probably won't be able to get a chance to be a drill sergeant. You know, if Pathfinder School is being discontinued in September, if so, why? I heard it was being discontinued. I didn't hear when. I didn't even hear why. So I don't even know the when or the why kind of a thing. The only thing I think of is maybe it's something that they don't really need dedicated school for, that maybe it's just an easy training that they can have scouts do or have certain other people do. I don't really know. I don't know what the reason is behind it. Hello from South Korea. Well, thanks for watching from South Korea, my friend. Hopefully you're farther south. It's usually farther north. The installations get crappier if you're even in the military in the first place. I'm guessing you're in the military, but usually the farther south installations are the better ones. You taking off, Evie? Is that what the waves mean, or are you just waving at somebody? You're taking off. Thanks for hanging out. What we got for time? We're at an hour now. I always say these things are going to last an hour, but they always end up lasting an hour and a half. Let's not kid ourselves, right? I am almost out of tea though, so. She has her own apartment and wants it too, so she can come over and stay at my apartment. If I get BAH, we won't be living together. Kind of strange. You're gonna get married? You're talking about, is this from the married question? No. You're watching this from the Guantanamo Bay cell. They're getting pretty relaxed, allowing you to have internet, huh? That's pretty cool. Good deal, man. Is it possible to at least attempt sniper and airborne unit? I mean, airborne unit is probably easier to get than sniper. Sniper is actually pretty difficult to get. A lot of things have to line up in your favor for you to be able to have that opportunity to go to sniper school, because you have to get recommended for it. You have to be in a unit that needs you. You know, you're probably going to need to be an 11 Bravo. You're probably not going to be able to go to sniper school as an 88 Mike or as a mechanic or something else like that. And then even then, I still understand from a lot of people it's still fairly challenging to get to go to sniper school. So you probably have a better chance of going to an airborne unit. You just simply probably go to airborne school straight off the bat. When you first join the Army, pretty good chance that your first unit you're going to get sent to is probably going to be an airborne unit. Sniper part is going to be a pretty difficult one. You know how often Ranger units go on non-combat deployments? I'm not too sure, no. It might be fairly often. I haven't really talked to anybody recently that's in like the Ranger battery to really know too well how often they went on training deployments, but I would imagine it's still probably more often than a regular unit. You know, someone who's not a Ranger in the Ranger battalion. What do you currently do as a job? I currently instruct soldiers. I work at the Mission Training Complex on Fort Carson, Colorado, and I train soldiers on the navigation and reporting system that's mounted in a lot of the vehicles in the Army. The old version, JCR, I still teach that version to soldiers because some of the units on Fort Carson still have JCR, but I also teach the new version of that navigation tracking system called JBCP, and so I teach that system too to new soldiers. So that's my primary one. I do a few other courses here and there when they need me to do so, but my primary thing is teaching JCR and JBCP, which is the navigation system of the United States Army. Would having a veteran talk to a station commander offer any benefits to enlistment or enlistment process? I'm not sure what you're trying to get at here. Why would a veteran talk to a station commander about benefits? I'm not sure where you're going with that, so I don't think I can help you with that question. Do you still get retirement pay if you don't do 20 years? No, unless you got medically chaptered. So like if you got medically retired, then yeah, I mean you could essentially do less than 20 years because something happened to you in the military that was military related and they medically retire you, then they can do that. But otherwise, no. You can get money from the VA, like if you have service-connected things that the VA connects to your time in the military. But it's unless you get like a really high percentage rating because you really messed up from going to multiple deployments and airborne and all sorts of other things and all sorts of other injuries that you obtain in the Army, it's not a whole lot of money to necessarily live off of. You probably still need a job unless you got like 100% disability from the VA. I mean, you're not even necessarily 100%. I mean, you could probably even get away with like 70 or 80, maybe even. I don't know. Oh man, thoughts on McGregor Poirier 3? Disappointed. Conor should not have gone to the ground with Poirier when he tried to pull him down for the guillotine. I feel like he should have tried to do it a standing guillotine, and if he couldn't pull off a standing guillotine, go back to striking. He should not have tried to pull him down because that's where I knew he was going to be in trouble, and he was kind of getting beat up there. He was able to get back to his feet, and then the whole ankle thing happened. Counts obviously as a win for Dustin, right? Can't deny that kind of a thing, but it doesn't feel right, right? I like Dustin too, so I'm not like super like, you know, oh, Connor should have won kind of a thing. I'm okay with Dustin winning too. I mean, I'm more in favor of Connor probably, but I like Dustin too. Dustin's cool. Yeah, I think that, I mean, it's going to be a thing where Dustin's going to fight for the title, and then whenever Connor heals up, then I feel like you should give him someone else first. Maybe fight like Justin Gaethje, or fight maybe Michael Chandler or something like that, and then, depending on how that goes, maybe then fight for the title or something like that, if Dustin even wins the title from the current champ or whatever, but I don't know. I was bummed, though. Hey, Chaos, mother of my children doesn't want me to join the army, but I think it's my calling. I mean, are you with that person currently? Are you guys married? Because here's the crazy thing. Is like, if you have children, you want to go active duty. I was talking about this earlier, and you might not have been here maybe, but if you want to go active and you are a single parent, you have to give up your rights to that child to the other parent. So it gets really tricky. If you want to go reserves or National Guard, no, you don't have to do that though. You can still join as a single parent. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know. Talk it through. Where are we at on time? 117. Let me do. I'm gonna skip way down to some of the newer chats. Do a few of those, and then I'm gonna go backwards in the chat. Try to maybe catch some good ones that maybe I missed. Do a couple more, and then we're gonna be in the live stream here pretty soon. But like I said, don't forget. Follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a message if I did not get your question. Or you can even join the Discord channel. There's a link down in the description box down below to join the Discord channel. A lot of great people inside the Discord channel for other community members. Chat with them, make new friends, get some advice from some veterans. There's some verified veterans in there, and you can learn from them as well. What's happening to Candace? How's it going? Let's see, not about benefits. Would it be beneficial to have a vet put in a good word for, say, character or turning your life around, aid in the enlistment process? No. It's not gonna, they're gonna, like, if you're trying to join and you want to get someone to, like, recommend you, no, they're not gonna care about that stuff. They're gonna care about your background, your physical conditioning, your ASVAB scores, all that kind of stuff. They don't care about, like, if someone thinks you're a great guy and you should join the military. They don't care. So no, that would not help you at all. You could have a bunch of veterans and current active duty people say that you're a great guy and you should join the military, but if you have something in your history that disqualifies you from joining the military, then none of that matters. That's what they're going to care about. What would help with MEPS in terms of trying to blend in? A lot of the time they like to weed out more than just medical, even though it's not really that common. Help avoid that from happening. I don't know if I've ever heard that of happening. So I mean, for the most part, you're just going through the stations and doing an eye test, doing a hearing test, doing a physical, drug test, doing a bunch of other stuff like that, and they want people. They want people to join. So if you have something in there that they don't like, then yeah, they're not gonna, allow you to be able to join possibly. But for the most part, they want people to join. So they're not just gonna, this guy looked at me funny, I don't think you should join. This guy, wearing a stupid t-shirt, we won't let him join. So as long as you pass everything, then hopefully you'll be good. See, Candace renewed her membership. Thank you, Candace. Appreciate it. Man, late to the party. You're gonna have to knock out some push-ups. Sorry, if you are running late, you gotta knock out 20 push-ups. How it goes. We're almost to the end of the live stream too. So we got to 114 likes. Man, we're almost to that 150. If you have not hit that like button down below, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Obviously, you can't chat if you're not subscribed for at least 10 minutes or more, so make sure you're subscribed. I don't like McGregor. I'm really happy Poirier won. I like Poirier. The thing was, like, I think I like McGregor just because of, like, he's entertaining. A lot of his past, like, history of fighting thing like that kind of gets you, like, skeptical of if he's going to really be here for someone who's a fan to really root for or whatever. So it makes it hard. That's kind of like the same thing with like John Jones. I really like John Jones, but he doesn't fight very often, so it makes it really tough to be a fan. Where like Poirier, he seems like he's pretty dedicated to the fight game and wanting to progress, wanting to be champion, and want to be in the fighter kind of a thing. He doesn't have all these side distractions like Conor has, so he's probably a better person to root for anyways, probably as a fan, because he'll probably be in it for the long haul. Conor doesn't, based on, I mean, he kind of makes it sound like he's going to do that now, but his past experience hasn't shown that, and I think he's too distracted with, you know, proper whiskey or proper 12 and all the other side kind of things he does, and maybe not quite as focused on fighting as he should be, where Dustin's pretty focused on that. So I like Dustin. I like Dustin's cool too, but yeah, I think I mostly just like Conor just because he's entertaining. Do you think boxing training is enough fitness to prepare for basic training? It probably helps. It'll help with cardio, but I think you still need to get out there and run. You're gonna have to go do like running, do some sprints, do some road march kind of things, and, you know, hiking, whatever. I think that boxing training would probably be great for cardio and still build your cardio and help, but make sure you can still run too. Someone can hit a bag all day and spar or whatever, but if they can't go running for 2+ miles, you're gonna have a hard time. So I would say it's definitely a good thing to add in there. It would probably help. So, but make sure you get out and run. All right, I'm gonna go backwards in the chat. I want to see some of the chat things that maybe I missed. Maybe some good questions. Cover a few of those. Come back to the beginning of the chat or the current area in the chat. Answer a few more of those questions, and we'll be ending the live stream here pretty soon. We're at 122 likes. Let's see if maybe we can still get to that 150 like goal before the stream ends. Maybe we can. Maybe we can still do it. So, fingers crossed, make it happen. If you have not liked the stream, make sure to look down below and hit that like button. What bad outcome would there be even though we signed a prenup? So you're still talking about that marriage thing from earlier kind of a thing. I mean, just the hassle, probably, of the process. I mean, if you guys are just doing it just to get extra pay, you don't really care about the love part of it and the forever, I don't know, kind of thing. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. I feel like it'd still be a hassle. Did I ever know anyone that was a 13 Romeo? I don't even know what 13 Romeo is. 13 Romeo MOS is Field Artillery Firefinder Radar Operator. I have no. Never. Didn't know that MOS existed. No. What do you do while your friends do party during your time in the Army, Chris? But for me, I preferred going out to eat because I'm not a party guy. I did a lot of partying early in my Army career. My first duty station when I was in Kansas, we would go to Manhattan and we'd go to a lot of the bars there. Sometimes we'd go to Topeka, which usually was better to get away from the Fort Carson or the Fort Riley area. We go party in those areas. Then when I went to Korea, I didn't really party much. A few times here and there in Korea. Not a whole lot, mainly because I couldn't really get out lots in Korea because of where I was at. And then when I first came to Fort Carson, I went out partying a lot in downtown Colorado Springs. But then after my first deployment, I think just being so for about a year of no alcohol kind of a thing, I just kind of lost interest and really wasn't interested in that. I would still hang out with my friends afterwards, but I really wouldn't go necessarily party kind of a thing. How's the art changed because of COVID? I mean, you had a lot of stuff like the masks and a lot of different style of training. It's getting pretty close to going back to normal already right now, at least on Fort Carson, I've noticed. Not 100% there, but it's getting pretty close. So pretty soon, I don't know what kind of things will still kind of keep and kind of stay because of COVID, but a lot of things are starting to, for the most part, go back to the way they used to be. There's just a few things here and there. We'll do one last question before I come back into chat. I feel like this is a pretty good one. Being a Mike, do Army give you a CDL? No. But, however, a lot of states in the United States, because you have the experience of being an 88 Mike, will allow you to take the test for the CDL to get the CDL license without having to go to school for it, because you already have the training from being in the Army. Whereas someone who does not have that experience has to do the school to get the education for the CDL and then go take the test. You get to basically skip the school and just jump straight to the test because you're an 88 Mike in the Army. So that is a plus side, but yeah, you don't just automatically get a CDL while you're in the Army or when you get out of the Army. No, you still have to take the test to get that. All right, I'm going to answer a few more questions here in the live stream. 128 likes. Come on, take a good look down below. Have you liked the stream yet or not? If you haven't, hit that like button. It's free. It's a great thing to do. It means you're a good person. We'll try to get to 150 likes before we end it here in the next few. All right, Evie. You're on push-ups. Evie's hardcore. If you guys are not in the Discord channel, there's a physical training PT channel that I have in the Discord channel. I swear it's just Evie in there doing workouts in the morning. It seems like. But anybody really can go in there and get like a random 10 or 15 workouts that I got programmed in there, and it'll give you a random workout. But I feel like Evie's the main person that uses the hell out of that thing. So I'm not surprised, Evie, if you can do push-ups. Is there any way to view the amount of openings or demand for a particular MOS? No. That's not a system that is just accessible to anybody type of thing. That's kind of restricted, because potentially that could be something that like the enemy could use against us, because they could see that, hey, they're really short on 11 Bravos, so means maybe their infantry is weaker than we think it is, or something like that, right? I mean, probably not, maybe not that extreme, but still, it's not something that just anybody gets access to, so no. The recruiters have access to that probably, and a few other people at MEPS, obviously, in a certain way, so yeah, it's not something that just anybody can get access to find out what ones are openings. You can kind of find out which ones are in demand, because if you go to the Army's website and you look to see what MOSs they're offering bonuses for, that's usually a pretty good sign that those are MOSs they're in demand of, but openings, not really. Do you ever miss active duty? No. I like doing my civilian job. I'm working around soldiers all the time without having to actually be in the Army, so that's pretty cool. So I still kind of get around that a little bit and kind of interact with people. But no, I like what I do, and I like not having to deal with the restrictions, right? It's not the worst thing being in the Army, but for me personally, it was definitely not something I wanted to do forever. For some people, maybe they like it more. So it really just depends on the person. What does a 31 Bravo do? What's a 31 Bravo? 31 Bravo MOS. What's in military police? So that really varies. It's not quite like being a police officer, like you would think, like in a civilian world type of thing, because they have different sections in the military, in the MP platoon type of thing, or in that unit. So you might have it where 1 week you're on patrol and you're driving around a base in a squad car type of thing. Probably if you're a low-ranking private, you won't get to do that too often. Usually you have to work your way up in rank a little bit, or work your way at least up in experience before you get to do that. You also have time where you're working the gates, the front gates. You have time where you're working the field, times where we're working other kind of things. So it's not quite like being a civilian police officer, but it does vary. You'll kind of go through a rotation where 1 week you might be on gates, 1 week you might be on patrol, 1 week you might be in the field. It varies. So it does kind of fluctuate somewhat. I heard that soju is the real killer, Chris. It is. It's good. It's delicious. That's why it's the killer. Soju by itself is horrible and tastes gross, at least in my personal opinion. But in Korea, the key thing was the soju kettles, is what they were called. It was basically soju mixed with Kool-Aid. I've tried to make it in the States, because usually you can go to like a Korean grocery store and buy soju, or maybe even some liquor stores might carry soju. And I've tried to make it myself and mix it with Kool-Aid, and it just doesn't turn out the same as it was in Korea in the bars. I don't know why, but I usually don't make it, not able to make it the same way. But yeah, it just tastes like you're drinking Kool-Aid. That's why it was the killer, is because it just tastes like you're drinking Kool-Aid. And before you know it, you are wasted crazy wasted usually. So that was why it was like really kind of tricky. Before you know it, you're wasted because you think it tastes like you're just drinking Kool-Aid, and it doesn't really hit you until it hits you. Chris, can an old unit from World War II or Vietnam return and become active again? No, that'd be way too old. Talking about somebody who was in World War II or Vietnam. I mean, World War II, you'd be old as shit. What are you gonna be, like 80, 90, 100 years old? I don't know what the math would be on that. Vietnam, I mean, you're still probably up there in their 70s or 80s. You're trying to return now? Heck no. Why would you be able to do that? So it's not like if you're talking about like when I was talking about before how it works differently with your age, there is still a restriction to it. But essentially, let's say that if you are 40 years, the way I've been told that it works is, let's say you were in the Army for 10 years, you get out, and you've been out for a while, now you're 40. Well, even though the Army's cutoff is 35, because you were in the Army for 10 years, they look at your age differently. So because you're 40 and you did 10 years in the Army, they're going to subtract those 10 years from your age. Now you're, for the purpose of coming back in the Army, you're 30 years old, and they will allow you to come back in. There are even some cases of people even being older past that, like that guy who was, I forget how old he was, but he went through basic training, got to come back in so he could finish off his time to retire. But he was out for a while. He was like up there in his 50s or something like that, I think he is now. So he was still able to do so. I don't know how long he was in for, or maybe a subtraction worked out, but it works a little bit differently than it does when you're first initially joining, because you already have prior service time. Two people with fat thumbs. There's some dislikes on the video. Those people owe me push-ups. What are we at? 134? I don't know if we'll make it to 150, guys. But hey, at least we've got past 100. That's pretty good, though. If I enlist, is there something in the Army that will allow me to continue to box since I currently a boxer? Sort of. I mean, I need to do a video on it at some point in time, but there is the I can't remember the full thing. There's an athlete program. I can't forget the name of the athlete program. The World Class Athlete Program. Yeah, it's called the World Class Athlete Program, and it's in the Army. It's on Fort Carson, actually, in Colorado. And if you qualify and you ask, you can possibly box in the World Class Athlete Program. That allows you to compete at the competition level, representing the Army. Also allows you to possibly qualify for the Olympics. I think we have a guy that qualified for the Olympics, or not for boxing. I think it was for something else, for maybe like running, track and field or something like that. That's from the World Class Athlete Program. So he qualified for the Olympics and got into the Olympics. And you can kind of go that route. So yeah, you could do that. But I don't know how easy. It's probably not a very easy thing to do, but it could be a potential route. There's not an MOS for doing boxing, but you could apply for the World Class Athlete Program and try to go and do boxing. You could do that full time. If you qualify for the World Class Athlete Program, then you get to do full time boxing. Same kind of thing. Does the Army have a wrestling team like high school wrestling? Not WWE. Same kind of thing. There is wrestling for the World Class Athlete Program, so you can do competitive wrestling. Yeah, it's not WWE wrestling. It's actual wrestling. And same kind of thing too, where you get to compete at the higher level and possibly wrestle in the Olympics if you qualify for the Olympic team. Let's see. I'm a heavy equipment operator. If I become a 12 Bravo, would I get extra rank? No. Not unless you went to school for it and got a college education, college degree for it. No. Just simply your past civilian experience does not earn your rank. The only thing that earns your rank really is college education. If you did JROTC in high school, if you referred a friend, a few other things you can do, but just simply job experience does not earn you your rank. Do they have brigade staff duty, and if so, who pulls it? Yeah, usually. So you have like brigade staff duty. Usually still be lower enlisted soldiers. but the NCO I see on staff duty is usually like E5 promotables or staff sergeants typically. Usually don't have new sergeants in most units anyways. I mean, there might be some units that might do this way, but most units I know of, they would do it to where the sergeants might be the sergeant in charge of CQ, which is like kind of like staff duty-ish, but for the barracks, 24-hour duties, and you have maybe a couple lower enlisted soldiers, staff duty for the brigade, the battalion, the division, whatever. Then that's a couple of lower enlisted soldiers, but for brigade, it's usually like maybe E5 promotable or staff sergeants, and then like if you go up to like division, then that's sometimes like sergeant first classes, maybe staff sergeants. Those are usually staff sergeant or above. Well, not too far above, but like staff sergeant and sergeant first classes that'll do like division staff duty. All right, maybe like one more good question. We're about to end the live stream here. We're probably gonna do one more question. 139 likes. If there happens to be 11 of you guys out there that has not hit that like button, right? The right math right there. I don't know. If there's possibly 11 of you guys out there that have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Maybe we can get to 150 just before it ends. I don't know. We're going to do one more question, but if I missed your question, I didn't get to it, follow me on Instagram, shoot me a message, 5 days or less, I'll try to get back to you. Join the Discord channel down below. There's some veterans in there that maybe can answer questions. You can make some friends, whatever the case is. There's a lot of other resources too. This is my live stream I do on Sundays, so we'll be back next Sunday to do the live stream. What do we have for a good final question? We'll do this one. I might have explained this for some of you guys that have been here before, but where were you stationed during 9/11 and what were you doing? I was stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas. I had just finished doing physical training. I think I actually have a video on this too. But we just finished physical training. We went and me and my roommate were in the barracks. We were getting dressed, getting ready for 9 o'clock formation. We were listening to the radio. Was listening to some rock music on the local radio rock station that was in the area while we were getting ready. They were talking about it on there. We're like, holy crap. At first, I initially thought that it was just like a small plane that maybe hit the tower. And then they talking about a second one now, all of a sudden hitting one, and we're like, whoa, this seems like a weird coincidence. This is kind of weird. So we went downstairs. We were already ready. We were getting ready to head to the 9 o'clock formation. The TVs were on downstairs on the first floor of the barracks, and people were watching it on the news, showing the footage and everything like that. We're like, holy crap, this is crazy. We went to formation. We were going to the National Training Center. I was supposed to leave the following day, I think it was. I was supposed to leave the 12th of September to go to the National Training Center. That was when my flight left, because you go in like spurts. Different people leave different days. But we had multiple formations. They kept on calling us back when new developments happened. They said maybe we might get rerouted, may not go to Fort Irwin anymore and do NTC. That didn't happen. We still went to Fort Irwin, and I left the following day because planes were grounded still on the 12th, so I didn't leave until the 13th. The local news got it wrong and saw that a bunch of Fort Riley people were getting on planes and leaving. They thought we were going to like Afghanistan or Iraq or something like that, but we were just going to the National Training Center. So they were reporting on units deploying, and families were freaking out, being like, I thought you were just going to the National Training Center. And so they had to do a correction, because then the Fort Riley commander and everything like that, put out, no, they're just going to the National Training Center in California. Chill out. So yeah, that's where I was at. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. We even got a new channel member, James Benavidez. Thank you, James, for becoming a member. You rock. You're awesome. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram. Shoot me a message if you have a question, or just follow me because you want to follow me and support me. Help me work on the Instagram game. Link in the description box down below for the Discord channel. Go join the Discord. That's free as well. Just got to have a Discord account, or you got to make one for free. You can join the Discord, stay in contact with the awesome community, all that kind of fun stuff. ChristopherChaos.com. I redesigned it. There's a lot more resources on there, so if you want to check that out, definitely be sure to go check that out. I don't see any of my friends live streaming right now, so we don't have anybody go raid. We did a raid last time. We went and raided one of my friends that was live streaming, but none of them are live streaming currently. We won't do any raids. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll be back again next Sunday for a live stream. Hopefully a new video on Wednesday. It's a little bit shorter of kind of a schedule of making videos, mainly because I've just been so busy with other things I'm working on, but we'll get back to a better schedule once I kind of get a little bit farther in my progression of things. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. 141 likes. We didn't quite make it 150, but we still got past 100. So thank you so much for that. That's still pretty awesome. So thank you guys for coming to hang out. You want to hang out and listen to some cool rock music for 2 minutes or something like that? Cool. Otherwise, see you guys later. See ya.